Welcome back. Starting with this lesson, we're gonna jump into analytical functions. For the examples used in this lesson, I created a table called rooms, and it has only 3 columns, which is the room number, room orientation, and room size. For example, in square footage. And I added 6 rows to that table, and let's check how the table content looks like. We can see 6 rows, room ID or room number, orientation if it's south or north, and its size. In the lesson resources, you can download this creation table script, but I do encourage you to write your own and practice with your own data. So let's proceed to the over analytical function. Before we look straight ahead to our example, we're gonna cover the sum function. And this function returns the total sum of all room sizes in our table rooms. So when I execute this, we get the total, so every room size added to the sum. And let's execute our example where we'll cover the over analytical function. When I execute this, I get, as in the select query, the room number, room orientation, and room size. The fun part with the column running total is where we use the sum of room size over, and we ordered this by room number. And this running total simply just adds up the running total of it. So my first room is room number 2001. It has room size of 400 and the running total is 400. The following one has room size of 200 and the running total is 400 plus 200, which is 600. The third is again 400 and the running total is 1000, which is the sum of 400, 200, and 400, right? And so on. So we get at the last row the total sum. The subset sum column is a little bit more advanced. It is making a sum of one preceding row and one following row. So when I look at the subset sum, we get the 600, which is the sum of 400. There is no preceding row, only one following row, which is the 200. So the subset sum is 600. For the room 2, the subset sum is 1000, which is the sum of one preceding row, the current one, and the following one, which is 400 plus 200 plus 400, which is 1000. And of course, all of the following rows do the same, with the exception of the last, where we do not have the following row, so it adds up only the values of room size of the current one and the preceding one. Of course, I could expand the preceding and the following numbers, so we would add up, for example, more. So if I change this to, for example, 2, and I execute this, so it will sum up the room size of current one preceding, which is not existing for the first row, and 2 following. So this is 400 plus 200 plus 400, which sums up to 1000. The second row is 200, one preceding is 400, and 2 following ones are 400 and 250. So the sum is 1250. Consider that we can also order this by some other column, so not by the room number, but for example, by room size. So we can order this by room size. The running total and the subset sum are gonna be as ordered by the columns ordered by clause, but the total ordering will be by the room size. So my current first row running total is of room 2002 and 2001, since we are ordering by room number, right? This is 200 plus 400, which is the running total. And the subset sum is again one preceding, right? Which is the 2001 room, which is 400, the current one, and the following 2, which are the 2003 and 2004, which sums up to 1050. So the sums have been totaled by ordering of room number, but the output has been later on changed by room size. Very nice. The over analytical function can be also partitioned, and in our case, we are partitioning this by room orientation. So when I execute this query, we can see this has been split into the north and the south. So when I look at the results, we can see the running total. It is going to sum up to 1000. But since it has been partitioned, we can see that for the room orientation which has south, the total has been reset, right? So it started up from the current, adds up to the running total for the following, and so on. The same applies when we are using the preceding and following keywords. So in my case, the subset sum of one preceding and one following is 1000, one preceding and one following, which does not exist since we partitioned this by room orientation, it has 1000. And then again, it resets. So this is 200 plus 250. It doesn't have preceding row for rooms with room orientation of south, adds up to 450. The following row is precedings 200, current 250, the following 400, which sums up to 850. Those analytical functions can be a little bit confusing, but practice it out, review the lesson, and I'm confident that the over function will be present on the exam. But it is very useful when doing some reports, so all of you that are experienced in Excel, for example, can relate to these functions. So again, do practice it out and have fun.